This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Thank you for being with us. We have high school football on the air tonight, the first of 10 games for Friendship, as they take on Byron Nelson tonight in Abilene at Shotwell Stadium. We'll have it for you at 5:30, and the kick is at 6 tonight. So a little bit of an earlier kick, probably to allow both schools an opportunity to get back home at a relatively decent hour. I say relatively decent because you think about the game, about 3 hours. By the time you get all, undressed and dressed, 10 o'clock, then you're about 3 hours home, so 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully the early teachers give them a little bit of a break tomorrow. No pop quizzes or, big essays due or, things like that. We're only 2 weeks into the school season, so I would think that, if you're a teacher that's planning a quiz tomorrow and you got a bunch of football players in or cheerleaders or band members, give them a little bit of a break tomorrow. It's going into the long weekend. Why stress anybody out tomorrow?
I got it. Now I got a pop quiz they should be able to nail. In fact, all of our audience should get 10 out of 10 on this one. Do you have a left thumb? That's obviously everyone's going to go, yes, we have a left thumb. Mm-hmm. Then we can ask, how do you spell depth?
Wow.
We can have some fun with this. And these kids would nail it because they're listening to us and we have gone all over these things for them.
Sure.
See, we're helping.
Sure. Yeah. We'll have more high school football.
It's
all good. It's all good. I made those comments. I stammered a little bit on the left thumb deal. I was trying to say something else, and I just got stuck.
We also said ligament like 19 times in one segment once. It was awesome.
Wow. Is this a
recap
of all the things we do bad?
No, but it's all the things that they should have for a pop quiz on a Friday before the first home football game.
We'll have Lovejoy and Lubbock Cooper on the air for you tomorrow night. That'll be on 100.7 The Score. That'll come to you from Lubbock Cooper High School. That is a 6:30 broadcast and then 7 o'clock kick. We'll also have Liberty as they take on New Home tomorrow, and that'll be at 7 o'clock as the kickoff for Liberty, and you'll hear that on Young Country 93.1, and our coverage there begins at 6:30 tomorrow night. That's from Liberty's place. So Liberty and New Home. That would seem to me like a pretty good game for week one, Jamie.
Yeah, I would agree. And they started last year in the opening game too. So,
that was, I think, at New Home's place last year.
Yeah, I think so. You would assume so, since it's at Liberty this year.
Monterey will open things up at Lowry Field tomorrow night as they take on Choctaw. And there's a game tonight at Lowry. I'll get to that in a moment. They take on Choctaw, Oklahoma. And we'll have that game for you tomorrow night on 93.7 The Eagle. And Monterey and Choctaw will kick at 7. Coronado meets up with Wichita Falls Legacy tomorrow night. That's a game that you'll also hear on 96.9 The Bull. So that will be at 6:45. And then Estacado's in action. They play at Jim Ned. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. Location of Jim Ned. And then Lubbock High is in action tonight. They take on Hereford, and that game is at Lowry Field, and that is a 7 o'clock kick. Okay, so that kind of, I know it's not everybody, but it's a lot of people. So, and we'll have a full recap of all the scores tomorrow night at 9:30 on Double T 97.3. So we've got a lot going on. We have a Friday night preview tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on Double T 97.3. So lots of high school sports. And then our Optimum Game Day Live coverage kicks off on Saturday morning with a Saturday morning quarterback. So that we'll get you a recap of that if you weren't staying up late or hadn't looked at the scores or just wanted to know what's going on. Those guys think, and Nick Long will have a lot of tidbits. They really they really try to out-tidbit each other because one will say something and another say something, and the next thing you know, it's back to 1963, and they're breaking down a game from, then and giving you all the little inside nuggets.
That's what we're looking for.
Nuggets. We're looking for nuggets. Okay, we got plenty of them. Plenty of them. As Jeff mentioned in his Sports Center, we'll have the Astros taking on the Rockies today at 2:40, and then Balls and Strikes at 3:10. We'll also have college football tonight between Cincinnati and Nebraska. Let me ask you this:
12:40.
12:40. Yeah, 12:40. Sorry. Let me ask you this: do all the Big 12 teams win this weekend?
I'm going to guess no.
Okay. Which game is the game that you think is the one that's the most competitive?
TCU at North Carolina would be one that I would be nervous about.
Mm-hmm.
I would be nervous about Cincinnati and Nebraska tonight.
Okay.
I'm nervous about UCF hosting Jacksonville State tonight.
Okay.
Okay, Jacksonville State was a really good team last year. UCF was not. I think the Baylor-Auburn game is losable. I think the Colorado-Georgia Tech game is losable.
So it might be...
I feel pretty confident. Hawaii at Arizona.
Yeah, Hawaii beat Stanford.
Mm-hmm. And neither one of those teams looked great, but I think that's a losable game on Saturday. I think Utah will be pretty comfortable with their game at UCLA, but yeah, I think there's 4 or 5 of them that could be losses. I wouldn't expect that many, maybe a couple.
Okay. What about the Dublin teams, Iowa State and Kansas State? Iowa State, ranked 22nd, plays host to South Dakota, and then Kansas State plays host to North Dakota. Both those games are on Saturday. K-State is ranked 17th.
Yeah, I
no concern there.
The Dublin teams.
Well, they played in Dublin last Saturday.
Teams that played in Dublin.
Yeah, yes. I mean they're not from there. They're just they played there.
Yeah, I would expect both those teams to win.
Okay, I think those games are going to be closer than people think. I think there'll be a little hangover effect. I think K-State will be angry, and they might win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. That's a 98% matchup probability for K-State versus North Dakota. And then for Iowa State versus South Dakota, it's a 91% matchup predictor. So I think that game's going to be under 2 touchdowns for Iowa State to win.
Okay.
It'll be closer than people think.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Time for this day in sports history. Today is Thursday, August the 28th, 2025. So basically you got today and tomorrow to get done with August, because Saturday is game day, Sunday is Sunday, and Monday is Labor Day, and Tuesday it starts a new month. So it's today and tomorrow to get your stuff done for the month of August. Here's Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
(1918) Cleveland Indian outfielder Tris Speaker is suspended for the remainder of the season due to an assault on an umpire.
That'll do it.
They will. They frown on those kind of things. 1951. Pirates snapped the New York Giants' 16-game winning streak. 1977. California Angels pitcher Nolan Ryan strikes out 300 batters for the first, second, third, don't, 5th consecutive season. That's a lot of strikeouts for 5 straight years.
He was smoking then.
1990. Chicago Cubs' Ryne Sandberg is the first second baseman to hit 30 home runs in consecutive seasons. 2003, former Red Raider Josh Bard goes 3 for 4 with a home run and a double, helping the Cleveland Indians to an 8-3 win over the Tigers. And in 2021, Major League Baseball Los Angeles Angels pitcher and designated hitter Shohei Ohtani becomes the first player in team history to reach 20 stolen bases and hit 40 home runs in a season during a 10-2 win over the San Diego Padres.
He pitched 5 innings yesterday.
Not for the Los Angeles Angels.
No.
It is National Cherry Turnover Day.
Oh, sign me out.
Happy birthday, Jack Black, 56. Jennifer Coolidge, our favorite, 64. Shania Twain.
No, she's not our
I'm
favorite.
actually mad at you just for bringing her name up.
Yeah.
Well, this may help. Shania Twain is 60. Leanne Rimes, 43. Jason Priestley, 56. And Lou Piniella is 82.
Wow. 82.
And on this day, 1963.
When we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
That, of course, is the I Have a Dream speech from Martin Luther King Jr. on this day in sports history.
All right. This day in sports history, 6:48 this morning here on the Morning Drive. We missed a little tidbit yesterday. I think we did. I think we missed this. Yesterday in sports history was the last time that in Major League Baseball there were back-to-back inside the park home runs. You want to take a wild stab at who it was? I'll give you the year. It's before y'all's time. 1977. It was Toby Harrah and Bump Wills. They went back to back on inside the park home runs.
You could have offered me the Toby and the Bump, and I still would have missed both of them.
Okay. And you know the thing about the Toby Harrah home run, I think it was Toby, Lou Piniella, who you said today's his birthday.
That's correct.
Crashed into the wall. He was playing for the Yankees at the time, playing right field for the Yankees. He was trying to make the catch, and crashed into the wall and hit off the top of the right field wall there at Yankee Stadium. And Bump Wills, his was to center, and I don't know if it was Mickey Rivers or not, but I think it might have been Mickey Rivers who misplayed it, which that's kind of what he was known for. He could make some circus catches and then he could misplay stuff.
Sure.
So, at any rate, I just thought that was I saw that yesterday. I thought that was kind of interesting. Just the fact that there were consecutive back-to-back home runs. It's the first and it's the only time in Major League Baseball history that the players from the same team have hit back-to-back inside the park home runs in the same game. That's pretty cool. Okay.
You're saying back to back. So one batter does it, then the next batter does it.
Yeah.
Well, then why did you add in the same game?
It could be last at bat, first at bat.
Because that's what was written on this little article.
All right, you had me confused there.
I'm sorry. By
adding that. If you just say back to back, obviously it's the same game.
Yeah, there you go. I'll add Jamie, back to back inside the park home runs for Toby Harrah and Bump Wills.
Yeah, that would be the shock of all shocks to see that. Yeah, that would be crazy.
Bump Wills was Maury Wills' son, who at one point in time was the stolen base king. Lou Brock replaced him, and then Ricky Henderson replaced Lou Brock. Okay,
and no one's going to touch Ricky for quite some time.
Somebody says this: 2 everyday names. ... Well, I mean, if you know, from a Ranger standpoint, Toby Harrah was a great player. Bump Wills was, he was not his dad, but
hey, I'm sure they use those names every day.
Many of those guys weren't. Let's see. Somebody said this. I had to take a call. Which Big 12 names did y'all think were likely to lose this weekend? And Jamie responded, who he was nervous about. UCF versus Jacksonville State, Cincinnati, Nebraska, Colorado, Georgia Tech, Arizona and Hawaii, and TCU at North Carolina. Okay, so that's a little bit of that. Anything that you're expecting out of Red Raider football with Joey McGuire tonight? I mean, it's funny because there have been times with this initial show, you're like, who's the starting quarterback going to be? Or what's the receiver position look like? Or, what do we think about this first matchup? I mean, we've had a lot of talking in this talking season. I think more than anything else would just be kind of a recap of the offseason and the look ahead and, the expectation question, right?
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I mean, I'm sure he'll get the same kind of questions that he's got all season long with the expectations of this team and how they've meshed together and how hard they work, for each other and all that good stuff. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember the last time we had a conversation about we went into a season not knowing who the quarterback was going to be.
Okay, well, that's probably true. Yeah, that's probably true. It's probably been Coach Kingsbury's. It's more the health of it, more than the health of the quarterback, maybe.
We've had game weeks, yeah, but we've never. I can't remember the last time we went into a season not knowing who the starter was going to be.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I think it would be going back to Baker starting when we didn't know because we thought we knew, but it wasn't what we thought we knew.
Okay, so it's been.
We've had to change quarterbacks game
two. It was a
two.
McLean Carter start to begin the season, right? Didn't he start the game against Ole Miss?
Oh,
got
boy.
knocked out, and Alan Bowman came in after that. Then Bowman
I
kind
thought
of.
that was later in the season.
You might be right.
Don't like Bump Wills. He refused to give me an autograph at Old Arlington Stadium when I was a kid. Yeah, you don't forget that stuff.
No, sure don't.
You do not forget that stuff, man. I feel you on that. Yep. You kind of just go, okay, hey, Bump, I hope that you have a bad day every day.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Thanks for being with Jamie, Jeff, and I this morning. Take your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app. It is presented by Happy State Bank. Also, the Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. I went to the Arkansas Pine Bluff football site yesterday, and I thought this was pretty cool. I mean, it's not going to help them. It's not going to help them win any games or anything. But when you look at their team and their bios and their picture. They're all wearing a yellow blazer and a tie and a white shirt.
Cool.
I thought they looked really cool. I thought it looked that's. And then it was like, and then I had this thought. Well, is that the same coat and tie for everybody? Did they just change when they took the picture?
You said it was yellow.
It's kind of a It's kind of a gold. Gold? Gold. Yeah. Gold is. It almost looks like the Hall of Fame jacket that the NFL players wear. Not quite, but I mean it's a very nice jacket with a lion, a golden lion. I guess golden lion. So they'd probably say that, Chuck, that jacket is gold. Okay, and they've got a lion on the left breast. So I mean they look like a guy. They look like nice young men that are suited up and ready to go.
Yeah, I can't imagine the gold jacket you're wearing that around town or out on a Friday night or whatever.
No, it makes me think that when they get off the plane here in Lubbock that might be something that they have.
Maybe maybe that's the way they show up off the plane. I think that's pretty cool.
That they come down the ramp and get off the plane. Everybody knows. Oh, look at those young men. They're ready to go. Okay, they're all Natalie attired. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win the football game, but I mean, hey, dress to impress, right?
Probably not the preferred way to travel. all dressed to the nines, but
no, it makes it it makes it a little clunky. Looking at their statistics from last year, what they're looking to do is they're looking to flip what we're looking to do. Okay, I mean they need to improve on defense, but they really need to improve on offense. They only scored 23.5 points a ball game. They gave up almost 36.
Yeah, trying to get that offense going.
And the second and third quarters were really, really bad for them. Their opponents outscored them 145-69 and 110 to 48. So, I mean, and look, I mean, if we're not necessarily, I'm certainly not worried about this, but I'm sure the coaches have kind of looked at this and went, hey, listen, these guys are coming in here to win too. So let's not just go over there hat in hand thinking that we're just going to trot out on the field and clobber these guys, even though you kind of feel like you should be able to.
Yeah, man. If you don't, it's that's going to be a bit of a shock.
Yeah. Last year they opened up their season on August the 29th at Arkansas and lost 70-0. The next week they had a great bounce back, Jamie. They beat Arkansas Baptist 73-0.
That's good.
That's good. That's got to be one of the biggest turnarounds in college football, right? For the year, you get beat 70-0.
Oh, 143 point turnaround.
Yeah, right.
That'd be tough to beat.
Next week you outscore them 73-0. They have not. Their last win last year was against Mississippi Valley. I'm assuming that's Mississippi Valley State. No Jerry Rice for that team. He's not. I
think they dropped the state like so many teams have done.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's just a little bit of a look-see at them. 7:19 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Take your thoughts and comments again on the Yates Morning Center chat line. Somebody asked this: why would someone dress up as Natalie Wood to travel? Boy, that's a name way back from the past. Do you know who Natalie Wood is?
Yes, she's a singer, isn't she?
Yeah, she was an actress. Yeah, she was married to Robert Wagner, and depending on who you talk to, Robert Wagner and Christopher Walken and her were on a boat together, California, and she ended up dead, drowned. And the question is, did she have help leaving the boat, or did she just drunkenly fall off the boat? There's two schools of thought there.
Happens to the best of us.
You've never fallen off a boat before, have you?
Not that I can remember.
I mean, sometimes those boats.
I've had so much to drink, I don't remember.
Sometimes those boats, it gets a little slick. Some wise guy says this. Did you mean gold or yellow brown? Okay, that's fair. That's another question for your pop quiz for the kids on Friday. What color is this pin? Is it bronze or is it brown silver? Right, brown silver. It's another. Did you run that by the troops at home? That comment that I made the other day.
I think I did.
Did they just shake their head and say, "God, Dad, I feel so bad for you"?
I think they got a laugh out of it, just like the rest of us did. Yeah, could you not think that was funny?
Yeah, I'm here to provide entertainment for you and our fine listening audience and your family around the dinner table. I'm glad to get a laugh at the Lintz. Let's see here. By the transitive property, Arkansas would have beaten Arkansas Baptist, or whoever you said wasn't paying attention too closely, by 143 points. I think that's how that works. Oh.
Yikes.
What was it about?
Arkansas went on to lose to Oklahoma State the next weekend, who went 0-9 in conference play.
And Arkansas would then beat us in the Liberty Bowl at the end of the season. Yeah. Let's see here.
It's a lot of work for the number 9.
What was it about the Abilene Christian game last year? Did we take them too lightly for the whole game, or was it just the second half?
I think that it was we weren't good on defense, and they were good on offense.
Yeah.
Because your offense showed up. You scored 52 points.
Yeah.
Not as if your offense sputtered all day long. You just could never stop them.
We get this as the kids are making their way to school this morning. On our way to school, good morning from Bennett and Wyatt. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Just make sure we're model citizens today. No problems with the school. I mean, and that's the thing. If you're a kid, okay, and I think I don't know if the phenoms are to school yet or not, but it just, for any kid that's in elementary and middle school, we'll speak to that age group. The worst thing that you can do is screw up and get disciplined going into a 3-day weekend, because it hangs for 3 days. You don't get the escape to school if you've gotten yourself in trouble. So it's really, really important to keep your head on a swivel today and tomorrow, so that you can have a nice weekend all the way through, so that you don't get grounded or sent to your room or taking your games taken away from you, or your screen time or anything like that. Right. All those things. I know. Or not getting to go to the football game. Yeah. Somebody brings this up. Robert Wagner was number 2 in Austin Powers, to help some of us who didn't know. Yep. And also Tony's dad in NCIS. And Jonathan Hart in the old Heart to Heart for us old folks. Yeah, all that. He got to stick around, Robert Wagner did. Not so much for Natalie.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, pretty simple question. I think we've discussed this one before, but my answer has changed, and so I thought I would ask the question again. Heading into this game on Saturday, who's the player that you are really intrigued by and you're interested to see what it looks like for them on the field?
I'm just gonna. I don't know what I said last time. I think I might have said kicker last time. I'm just going to say I really want to see Baron Morton come out and zip it. I want the ball going down the field. I want to see that velocity coming out of his hand. I want to see that ball going in the air. I want to see it going more than 30 yards. I want to see the accuracy. My binoculars are focused on number 2.
Okay.
I don't know that my answer's changed, although with the changes that have happened, I've added somebody that I'm interested to see how it works. I think I said it was the offensive and defensive coordinators that I really want to see and see how those are going to roll through in the first game. And I even think I kind of apologize for going outside of the box a little bit. But this one is square in the middle of the box. You got a new kick returner that's a little familiar. And I say a little familiar in Micah Hudson. I want to see how that goes. That might be an area that he could really excel at with some of the talent that he has available.
Okay. For me, I would, if I was being honest, I would tell you all 3 of the running backs are the 3 key guys for me that I'm most interested to see what it looks like with those guys in the roles that they're in. But I think the guy that I'm most intrigued by is number 3 on the depth chart when it comes to running backs, and that's Adam Hill. He's just a big guy who is a tremendous high school player. You've heard rave reviews from the Red Raider coaches about him, and just with his size and athleticism, he's very intriguing to me. And I think in these early games, he's going to get a chance to show whether or not he can be relied upon to be, a factor, or is he just the third string guy? So I'm really interested to see him.
He's bigger than the other 2. He's 6'1", he's 230, and when you look at Jacoby Williams, he's 5'10", 185, and Cam Dickey is 5'10", 215. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he can take advantage of those holes that we hope are going to be open by that offensive line. Mm-hmm. And then
or if he's big enough to create some of his own holes.
Yeah, and or is he your pass blocker in the backfield? Does he take on a linebacker and pop somebody if they get through?
Yeah.
Give Barron a little more chance to throw it. Okay. Is there anybody on defense that you're really intrigued by?
Well, I think David Bailey was my answer earlier this offseason when we talked about that. The guy that I was most interested to see just what it's like. But I think there's a lot of guys for me on the the defensive side of the ball. The corners, I'm interested to see what it's like there after we really struggled at that position last year. And then, of course, having guys that can get after the quarterback, that's cool too.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, anybody defensively that you're going to kind of
every single one of them. Going to Jamie's point, how much improved are your corners? How are your safeties going to react to the run game? The only question I don't have on defense is linebackers. Because those guys are stellar, and I expect them to continue to be so.
I would throw John Curry in there, too, because, again, another guy that the coaching staff has talked very, very highly of. This kind of forced his way into the starting lineup, so I want to see what he's all about.
Yeah, and I think the kickers, too, is something to take a look at to see, are they getting – not that you want them to have an opportunity to kick a 40-yarder or a 42-yarder, but –
I do.
Yeah, probably. I know you do. I mean, I guess I was just thinking about it just from a standpoint of you don't want to see your offense break down or get stopped. But if you do, then you want to see which one can handle that the best.
Yeah, this is not going to be a game where you need to score a touchdown on every possession, so you would think.
Right.
To win.
Right, yeah.
So let's get some work for the kickers and see what they're about.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And Coach McGuire said that he felt like that position would be settled by the third game. And Upton Belafont right now has the leg up on Stone Harrington. And then Ian Hershey has given Jack Burgess a little bit of run for his money from a punting standpoint. It's just good to know that he's your punter-kicker combo. Okay? So he's a guy you don't necessarily hope being put in both situations because that'd be a bad deal. That means that your two kickers would have gone out.
Either hurt or weren't performing.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, I guess Ian Hershey could just be so good that he overtakes them.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe he could be that. And then the thing about Jack Burgess, he's also the holder. The backup holder. And it's no or on this. And, it used to be that this is just the way it was. The quarterback was the holder for the kicker for whatever reason. The quarterback was the holder for the kicker.
Good hands.
Good hands, but, receivers have good hands too, but maybe they just didn't want to get their fingers hit. But Morton is your...
and decision-making, if something breaks down or if you want to run a trick play and you want to throw the ball, you can come up with a lot of reasons why it makes sense that a quarterback is there.
Sure.
It's actually one of my favorite little factoids about why that changed almost overnight in the NFL.
Okay, why?
Tony Romo play.
Oh, okay.
Because up till that point it was about a 50-50, whether your punter was the holder or whether it was your backup quarterback. Well, at that point, Romo became the starting quarterback. Mm-hmm. He was still the holder. When that play didn't work, being as athletic as he was and how reliable he was as a quarterback, almost everybody in the NFL went, we're not putting our quarterback out there to no longer have that as an issue from that moment because of how unsuccessful that play was.
I blame the ball for that game. For that.
Right, but it was Tony Romo picked it up, tried to make a play out of it as your starting quarterback, something he had done 100 times as your quarterback. Mm-hmm. And that's when almost everybody in the NFL from that point forward switched.
Didn't want their starting quarterback trying to make a play?
Didn't have a quarterback being your holder on kicks.
So what's the advantage?
The advantage was that if that situation were to happen, the quarterback could make a play. But because a starting quarterback couldn't, but he was still the holder, that's when everybody
What's
shifted
the advantage now to having a punter do it?
consistency.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
With Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Hines. Don't forget, at 9 o'clock this morning, it is the end of the bench. High noon, bottom line, and this afternoon, Tech Talk. And the guys will be out in the wild today. They'll be at Twin Peaks today from 3 until 6. Okay. Then we'll have Red Raider football with Joey McGuire tonight at 6 o'clock. Okay.
And they'll have tickets to give away for Saturday's game.
Awesome. Okay. This from the 8 Scoring Center chat line. Whoever just texted about the wreck on Marshall Sharp Freeway in the West Loop saved my butt. Perfectly timed, avoided it all, and hit green lights till I got back on the loop south of 34th Street. Okay, awesome.
Good news.
Little man helping man, 5'9", 185. Man helping man. Okay. There you go. All right. Jeff brings this to the table.
I did. Okay, I did. So was messing around YouTube and ran across a video. And I'm not doing the entire video because it was like 15 minutes long, but it was announcers predicting the play. And this was from September 27th of 2009 when the Mariners were taking on the Blue Jays.
Pitch to Click, final game of the series. Mike, who's yours?
Well, I think clearly it's going to be Tuiasa Sopo today. He swung the bat well the last few times that he's got an opportunity to play. I expect him to hit his first big league home run today. He's going to get in a good count today. He's going to get a fastball from Talent, and he's going to hit it out of left center field, probably maybe in the second deck.
Okay, all right. I'm looking forward to it. Matt Tuiasa Sopo's first home run of his career coming up, according to Mike Blowers.
On a 3-1 count.
On a 3-1 count? Breaking ball, fastball?
It'll be a fastball. He's a fastball
3-1.
pitcher. 3-1 count. Second at bat.
How many rows back? Second deck. Second deck. How many rows back?
That
2 or 3?
I can't because people get their hands in the way, so you never know.
And a left-hander's 2-1
This is
pitch.
his second
and
at bat
that's
that they are
inside
now
ball 3. 3 balls. I've never been so excited on the 3-1 count in my life.
How about that? We're there, 3-1. Let's see what happens here. It's going to be a fastball, Matt. You know that.
Yeah, we do know that. Now the left-handers. 3-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and belted in the left field. It just missed the second deck. Fly away. I don't believe it. I see the light. I believe you, Mike. Unbelievable. It is 2-0 Mariners. He missed the second deck by just a little bit. And Matt Tuiasa Sopo has made the prediction come true on his second at bat on a 3-1 count. I have never in my life seen such a prediction come true.
Mike Blowers, you are unbelievable. Matt Tuiasa Sopo, his first major league home run, a 2-0 Mariner lead. Would you believe it?
Called first home run in the second at bat on a 3-1 pitch to left, missed the second deck by about 2 feet.
That's pretty amazing.
I was as shocked as the broadcasters were when I saw that call.
It's pretty crazy. Blowers clearly better as a prognosticator than he was a player.
Yeah.
He was one of those prize prospects coming through the Yankees farm system that turned into a bit of a dud. In 3 years with the Yankees, he drove in every bit of 25 runs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a hard-hitting guy there.
Batting averages of 263, 188, and 200.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So next time they're like, yeah, I love it when this guy calls a play. And ain't nothing compared to calling first career home run in your second at bat on a 3-1 pitch to the left into the second deck.
Fun.
As a pick to click in a pregame show.
It is a pick to
Goodness.
click. That is a pick to
Goodness.
click. All right, thank
He
you for
should
that.
have done bold statements of proclamation with us. It showed us how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That would be even better. Larry writes in this morning. He is on vacation in South Africa. He says, keep up the good work, Reckham. We will, Larry. I wonder if Larry's on a safari. Would you go to South Africa?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you go on a safari?
Yes.
Okay.
No question.
You kind of in one of those
So much fun.
safari jeeps, with the the bar across the top, and you'd be standing up wearing your Curious George hat and a big camera around your neck and taking pictures of giraffes and elephants and rhinoceroses and hippopotamuses and monkeys and tigers and bears. Oh my!
Something like that.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. Okay. Jeff, would you go on a safari like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that
Take a
sounds like
camera?
fun.
Absolutely, I would.
Yeah. Somebody says I want Ace Ventura as a safari guide.
All righty then.
All right, here's the latest on Micah Parsons. Okay, this is the headline from the Dallas Morning News. The NFL plans to vigorously defend against Micah Parsons' pending grievance over his 2025 salary. Apparently, his salary is going to be designated as a base of $21.34 as a defensive end. That's a drop of almost $2.5 million from the 24 that was thought previously. The Cowboys have cited the NFL's formula and automatic designation for this decision. According to Pro Football Focus, Parsons played 515 snaps last year on the defensive line, compared to 241 at linebacker. Of those 515 at defensive line, 385 were at a position that Pro Football Focus deemed as REO and LEO, meaning the player lined up outside the offensive tackle but had their player on the ground when the play was snapped, had their hand on the ground when the play was snapped. And basically the only difference between linebacker snaps and defensive line snaps in that swing amount was whether Parsons was standing up or in a stance on the ground. Okay. So the difference is, $2.5 million, right? And I was thinking that there was somebody else that had a problem with this. Remember way back in the day, Jason Morrow wasn't designated as a tight end, right, for the John Mackey Award because they designated him as a receiver, even though he really was a tight end. And then this comes up in this article in 2014. Jimmy Graham, when he was with the Saints, argued he was a wide receiver and not a tight end based on where he lined up.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, and that was the difference in that in terms of the franchise tag compensation was over $5 million. He lined up in the slot or outside on nearly 67% of his passes the year before. Ultimately, the independent arbiter ruled that Graham was a tight end instead of a receiver, and they agreed to an extension after that ruling.
Makes sense. He was definitely a tight end.
Yeah. So anyway.
But I remember them trying to make that case.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So not only does he have a problem with the Cowboys, and remember, he's still under contract. He's still under his rookie contract. But it may not. I still think that he's going to report at some point in time, Jamie. He may not play in week 1, but he's going to report because he's just not going to walk away from that kind of money per game.
You wouldn't think so. I mean, it's a lot of money. It's not what he wants, but it's still a lot of money. And so you would think he's gonna play and then demand a trade or ask for a trade, ask to be traded before he gets to the end of the year when the Cowboys franchise tag him.
Yeah. Larry writes in Safari on Monday. Okay, Larry, we're expecting pictures because we had another guy who just said his cousin is there now and gave us a picture of, I'm not sure what that is.
That would be a rhinoceros.
It is a rhinoceros. Okay, well, I just couldn't tell. And somebody else, and they're probably right on this. I didn't know. No tigers or bears in South Africa. Okay, well, who knew? I guess y'all did, right? Did you know?
Definitely the Bears.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in Chicago.
Or Waco.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.